Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is the 2022 Kia EV6 GT-Line all-wheel drive. This is Kia's first ground-up battery electric vehicle, and this GT-Line all-wheel drive is currently the most potent form that you can get from Kia. Stay tuned for an upcoming all-out GT performance variant, but currently this is as crazy as it gets. And this is a very good vehicle outright. The Kia twin to the Hyundai Ioniq 5 that we tested here earlier on this channel, this proves to be a really good car, and in this video I'm going to take it out and see how it drives. Stay tuned. This video is sponsored by Electron Portable EV Chargers. Electron supplied us with this 240 volt 32 amp portable charger for us to use, and it drastically cut down our home charging times. This particular charger has a 21-foot heavy-duty cord, NEMA 1450 plug for our house, J1772 for any mainstream EV on the market today. If you are interested in getting a portable charger for your EV and helping out the channel in the process, click the link down in the description below. Starting under the hood of the 2022 Kia EV6, well, it is a battery electric vehicle, so there is no engine under here. Unfortunately, there isn't really any storage space either. Kia does have a plastic covered storage spot up underneath the hood here for, well, perhaps just a charger cable and nothing more. Closing that and closing the hood though, you can really take in the beautiful styling of this EV6. Where the Ioniq went very angular, boxy, and pixelated, the Kia has decidedly gone curvaceous and sumptuous. And nothing can be more evident than the curves here on the hood and back on the rear fenders. The headlights are a rather unique LED setup unit too, with these kind of eyebrow-like turn signals and running lights that actually go above and below the actual headlight unit. This satin gray paint also really sets this vehicle off and makes it look like nothing else on the road. And when it comes to looking like nothing else on the road, the profile of this vehicle definitely stands out as well. When I first saw pictures of this vehicle, I wasn't quite sure on the styling myself because it looked alien and otherworldly. Now I've come to appreciate those outerworldly designs because this thing really does stand out when you drive it down the road. You get looks no matter where you are driving this thing, and I think that is one of the fun benefits of this vehicle. Whether it's, again, this steel matte gray paint, or just the curves, or the overall odd design language of this vehicle, it stands out in a way that more people want to know exactly what it is that you're driving. Moving back to the back of the EV6, you get this rear spoiler that actually sticks out over the side. Yet another interesting design cue that the Kia designers went with on this vehicle. It's small things that add up to the sum of the parts here. You get this very interesting rear tail light unit that wraps around the entire back, kind of acts as a duckbill spoiler unto itself. You can see you get LED turn lights, and it's mostly a Doppler pattern as it goes up and over and around the rear hatch. Very interesting and unique design language back here for sure. It is a power opening rear hatch that opens to a rather large cargo area. You do get a sunshade on this particular model, and you can see there is plenty of room in the back for tools or whatever the case may be. We'll get more to those hedge trimmers here in a little bit, but there is even some hidden underfloor storage as well. Very useful and convenient. And the rear seat actually splits 60-40 and folds mostly flat for you to get larger cargo items in as well. This Kia EV6 also has Kia's Smart Park Assistant park technology, which will allow me to film solo and show you one last cool design bit here on the exterior rear of the vehicle. So to use the Smart Park feature, you simply lock the vehicle and then hold the engine start-stop button, and then you have two directional buttons here on the key fob to direct the vehicle where to go. And looky there at that really cool reverse light underneath the license plate. Ties in very nicely with the rest of the design underneath here with these kind of light modules back here on the back. Pretty cool feature if I do say so myself. Moving inside, we can see the door handles pop out when the vehicle is unlocked and allow you to get in very easily. Sitting in the Kia EV6, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the flashers and turn on the vehicle because it is rather warm outside and I just need a little bit of respite from the 104-degree temperatures here in mid-June in East Texas. As you can see, there is a one-spoke or two-spoke, depending on how you look at it, steering wheel here that is rather different compared to most other cars on the market. You have your cruise control and driver assistance information over here, and your radio and phone controls on this side. Very easy to use when you get used to it. This actually has twin 12.3-inch color screens that are very adjustable and adaptable. And this one right here, depending on what drive mode you're in, actually changes design to fit the vehicle's current mood. Coming over here to the side display, this is where you're going to interact with the vehicle most often. And there's a lot of stuff here to inform you as to how your battery is doing, where the nearest charger is, how far you can go with the AC on or off, and various other things there as well. This is an Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capable unit, but I will say it is only through a wired USB-A port. We'll get more into that perhaps while we're driving. Down here is really my only nitpick and critique of the entire vehicle. I first experienced this system and setup in the 2023 Kia Sportage, which they swiped out of this EV6. This is actually an OLED panel that does double duty. As you can see right now, I've got my AC controls on, but if I hit this button right here, it switches over and now I'm on my radio controls. This now controls my volume and that controls my tuning. Hit that back and now driver and passenger temperature controls. I will say no matter what screen you are in, this little bit of information right here actually stays consistent. And if you happen to touch anything in that area, it will switch back over to climate controls if you are on the radio controls. I like it enough because it does declutter the interior design here, but I think it answers a question that didn't even need to be asked, because even Kia and Hyundai's sister company in Genesis has kind of solved the clutter problem here by using this space down here for your radio controls. I think that this could have been left for HVAC, and you could have done something more unique here on the center console for your radio controls. Speaking of climate though, this does have, and I'm going to try and get it to focus here in this dark light, there we go, ventilated and heated front seats, as well as a heated steering wheel. These are touch sensitive buttons here, and Unfortunately, I am going to have to knock them because the ventilated seats do not stay on or remember that they were on every time you power the vehicle off. So again, going back to the 104-degree temperatures here in Texas in July, every time you start the vehicle, you need to turn that ventilated seat on. It does remember, though, what temperature and fan speed you had the regular AC set to, just not your ventilated seat. One small knock there. Your engine start button is actually here on this very interesting floating console right in front of the rotary dial gear selector or drive selector, which I've actually come to be rather used to. This is very plasticky compared to some other brands using some higher quality materials on something that you will touch every time you drive the vehicle. Small nitpick, I know. Same with all of the gloss black plastic that you can already see smudges and smears on. And this does show dust very easily as well. But just get you a quick cleaning cloth and polish that up every once in a while. I do really like the Qi wireless charger that is right here. It's a very quick and easy spot to have it. I just don't find myself using it too much with my iPhone 12 Pro Max because, again, you have to be plugged in to use the Apple CarPlay. You get flexible storage here, including a removable piece here for the cup holders, just so you can put a little bit extra large items in there if need be, and then a very large center console as well. So interior storage options are very plentiful and nice, and I didn't even mention the under console storage here that does a great job of swallowing bags and even has a hook here for you to hook handles or whatever you need so that your bag does not fall over. But you can see that is actually a rather deep well down there as well. Coming up front here to the bulkhead, there is your USB-A for your CarPlay interface. Everything else is actually USB-C. So the only USB-A cord you will need is the one that everybody will want to use the vehicle's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Do have another USB-C port here, as well as a 12-volt cigarette style outlet down in front. These seats are very comfortable and very nicely trimmed in this suede microfiber and hold you in place very nicely, and with the ventilation turned on are very, very comfortable here in summer in East Texas. The black color does not bother me all that much. Moving to the back seat, I am sitting behind myself at 5'10", and I have got plenty of legroom back here. It is a very, very comfortable vehicle to ride across town or across the country in, and I would not mind riding back here one bit. Additional comforts do include a 2-stage heated outboard seat here and on the passenger side. One thing I didn't note up front is the door sills are gloss black plastic as well. So a lot of touch points in this vehicle are this gloss black plastic. Rear passengers do get B-pillar mounted air vents that do a good job of circulating air back here in the back. And unlike the Ioniq that we tested with its full glass roof, the EV6 just has a rather large sunroof over the front seats, nothing back here over the back seats. The backs of the EV6 front seats are hard plastic, which are durable enough to stand abuse from whomever may be sitting in this car seat here on the side. I have no idea who that could be. And have this interesting handle on the back of the headrest for, I would assume, getting in and out, or maybe hanging a bag or two. So very interesting design back here as well. You get hard map pockets on the backs of both of the seats, and you also get USB-C on the sides of both of the front seats as well. And then pulling down the armrest in the center of the back seat, you actually get a choice between 2 cup holders or just a plentiful storage area that you can slide that out of the way, and it actually goes up underneath even further. Very unique storage options under here for sure. Last but not least, there is one other power option in this vehicle, and that comes from the household style plug hidden under the center of the back seat back here. So you can actually slide this open and plug any household style items into it and continue on a very comfortable and kid happy road trip. All right, now before we get into too much of the driving characteristics of this, and while I wait on traffic, I did want to mention exactly why I have an electric hedge trimmer back in the back of this vehicle. That is because this actually comes with an adapter to enable Kia's vehicle to load function, which means that you can actually charge other things or power other things from the battery power stored up in this vehicle. Rather nifty feature. See it in action. With this additional adapter here that you can purchase from Kia, you can plug any electrical device into your EV6 and go to work. You can even use it to charge other electric vehicles. You may wonder, what does this thing accelerate like? So, sitting in here, I am going to put it into sport mode, turn the 1 pedal drive completely off with the 2 pedals back here on the back of the steering wheel, which it's not letting me do because I'm not in drive. All right, turn that down completely, foot firmly on the brake, down on the accelerator, and let's go. Woo! Driving this thing around town, it is so easy and simple and just works. And that's what you want from a vehicle. Because it is an electric vehicle, there is instantaneous torque, instantaneous acceleration when you need it. You don't have to wait for the transmission to downshift to get the engine in the right power band. It just goes, and this vehicle benefits from it immensely. Say what you want about the otherworld styling, the electric vehicle bones of this vehicle are some of the best in the business, because with the 800 volt architecture, this thing is actually one of the fastest charging EVs on the road today, being able to charge from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes at select chargers across the nation. A very impressive feat nonetheless. So getting out in this vehicle and driving it around in the city, this is the environment that EVs excel in. Stop and go traffic, no emissions whatsoever, and instantaneous power for you to get in and around vehicles that may be going slower than you would want them to be. That's where this thing really shines. This being the all-wheel drive model has 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of instantaneous torque, and is delivered through all 4 wheels via 2 drive motors. This is a really good setup that proves to be very quick. And driving it around, you'll notice that there are 2 paddles on the back of my steering wheel. It's not to shift through any gears because this vehicle has none, but will allow you to toggle through the 5 different modes of the regenerative braking. So right now I'm on level 0. This drives just like you would imagine a gasoline powered car would. It coasts when you let up off the gas. It creeps if you It creeps if you let off the accelerator at a stoplight. It behaves like you would be used to in any internal combustion engine that you've driven to date. Pull on the left paddle a few times and you will initiate the 4 levels of regenerative braking. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is full I pedal. I will say that while driving the vehicle and pulling back on that pedal, it's almost like somebody's pulling a rubber band on the back of the vehicle, because it kind of feels like extra resistance. And that's exactly what you're getting, because now I can drive purely with one pedal. As I come up off the accelerator, it instantaneously applies the brake, puts the brake lights on behind me so the people behind me know I'm stopping, but doesn't actually use the physical brakes, but rather uses the electric motors to use my momentum to put power back into the battery pack. It saves on long-term wear and tear of your brake pads, adds some additional range over the course of your commute, and makes it very easy for you to navigate stop-and-go traffic. I've come to like it very much. Each vehicle has a little bit different quirk or feel to that pedal once you engage the one pedal driving, but once you are used to it, it's almost as intuitive and natural as you would imagine, just being able to slow the vehicle down by lifting off that accelerator. And yes, you can still use the brake pedal if you need a little additional stopping power faster than what the regenerative brakes are allowing you. Another interesting electric vehicle quirk you may actually be hearing right now. I'm actually going to get around this Chevy Equinox to go a little bit faster for you to hear the augmented sounds and drive ambiance of this electric vehicle. I'm actually going to go into setup here on the screen, go to vehicle, and go to active sound design. There are several different choices that you can choose for the way this vehicle sounds on the inside as you drive down the road. I'm currently on stylish, which really does just sound like a typical EV would. Switch to dynamic, and it kind of has this weird whir that almost makes me think of sublight engines on Disney era Star Wars. My favorite is Cyber, and kind of sounds like you are blowing on an increasingly longer and longer straw. I don't know exactly how to describe it other than that. It's very interesting and does adjust with your vehicle speed. All that plays through the Meridian sound system in this vehicle, which I have sampled, and it sounds very good. I will say there is a surround sound feature of that Meridian sound system, which almost makes it sound like there's an echo on the playback of the music that you're listening to, but I've found I just turn that off. Being that this is the GT line and is the most performance-ready EV6 you can get from Kia as of right now, I'm going to turn on some East Texas back roads and see how this thing performs. I've already noted its acceleration being very quick in the 4-second range, as you saw from that little stop demonstration in the parking lot. But real-life application means that you will be able to merge onto the highway with ease, you will be able to get around traffic with ease, and you will be able to avoid potential problems in the road rather quickly. While, yes, nobody needs this kind of power, its smooth linear delivery in an electric vehicle such as this one does allow for safer driving if you know how to harness it, and I truly appreciate its ability to make maneuvering through traffic just an absolute breeze. Given this car's low-slung appearance, it really is just a tall hatchback car with a low center of gravity and all-wheel drive. This thing actually performs very well in the corners and is a rather fun and entertaining vehicle to take out on a back road and have a little bit of fun. As the roads get twisty, so too does the smile on your face. This thing just is an absolute blast. And again, that instantaneous torque and all-wheel drive means that you can be assured you're going to continue on in the direction that you want to go rather quickly. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is good stuff. And the one-pedal driving also translates into fun, sporty, spirited driving as well, meaning that you don't have to worry about heel-toe or any of that. Just get a feel for where that braking takes place, and you can have some fun on a curvy back road, again, just using one pedal. It's a rather fun and entertaining vehicle. Line up here, regen off, fully on the brake, and fully on the accelerator, and oh my goodness, this thing goes and is so much fun. Wow. Yes, this is an all-around fun vehicle, and I will be sad to see it go. And this is only the second vehicle we've tested on this platform. There are 3 in total. So be sure and subscribe if you want to see how the Genesis version of this exact same vehicle, the Genesis GV60, lives up to my hype and my internal love for the Genesis brand, and you will see that video when it drops. If you want to see how my family responds to this vehicle, including my 4-year-old son and my wife, also be sure and subscribe and ring that bell so you will be notified when that video drops later this week. You may not be on the EV bandwagon just yet, but I can say from living with this one for a week, even though it has less than 300 miles of total range, I believe this one is in the 250 realm, and even less than that if you're in sport mode having a little bit of fun. This vehicle would make for a perfect first electric vehicle for a family or for you. And that's exactly what Kia aims to do with this. It is a very good vehicle all the way around, with Kia's safety tech and driver assistance built right in. You get the blind spot cameras, you get the 360 bird's eye when you are in reverse. I already mentioned the smart park active parking, where you can actually pull it out of a parking spot while outside of the vehicle. There's a lot of cool technology baked right into this, and it is a really good, comfortable vehicle at that, with those battery packs down below us, giving us a low center of gravity and a very smooth, albeit a little heavy, ride down the road. This thing is calm, compliant, and would make for a very good cruiser or commuter. Well, that's all I've got for my time with this one. If you want to check out what more we're doing, again, be sure and subscribe. Go check us out at gtgaragetalk.com or find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and you will get some sneak peeks as to what we're driving before it is here on YouTube. But until next time, gearheads, bye. I don't like any of that. I know, I hear you. Over the side.